Hello, students. Good morning, everyone. Students, today in this class, we'll continue with the chapter 5 in geography, which is the Earth's constituents. Students, in our previous classes, I have already explained this chapter through some audio clips, and I hope you all have understood the exclamation and heard that. Students, here, this is a summary video. Through this, you can recall all the topics which we have covered in this chapter. So students, this chapter is all about the Earth's constituents. So students, the Earth divided into three zones. Zones or spheres, okay, which are the lithosphere, hydrosphere, and the atmosphere. Okay, so lithosphere, which is the sphere of land, hydrosphere, which is the sphere of water, and atmosphere, which is the sphere of air. Okay, and all these three spheres, these are composed up of different things in the atmosphere. As you know, the water, it contains the various oceans in the world. As the atmosphere, which contains the various gases in the atmosphere, means its composition, it have the various gases and their properties. Similarly, the lithosphere, it also have various continents all over the world and various landforms. So students, first of all, let us see what we have studied under the lithosphere. So students, the earth have the three layers, which are the crust, mantle, and core. So the uppermost layer of the earth is known as the uppermost layer of the earth is known as the crust. The second most layer of the earth is known as the mantle, and the third most layer of the earth is known as the core. ठीक है, तो जो अपर मोस्ट लेयर होती है उसी को, आउटर मोस्ट जो लेयर होती है उसी को लिथोस्फेयर कहा जाता है. ओके, so students, as you know, whenever you observe the model of the earth, you can understand it very clearly. Here you see that the 71% of the earth's surface is covered of the water. ठीक है, आप देखते हुए ग्लोब में आपको कुछ पैचेस ग्रीन दिखाई पड़ते हैं, वो कंटिनेंट्स होते हैं. इसके अलावा जो आपको ब्लू पैचेस दिखाई पड़ते हैं वो क्या होता है, वो हमारी अर्थ का 71% पार्ट है जो कि वाटर से घिरा हुआ है. एंड अबाउट 29% of the earth surface have the land masses. Okay, so the continuous land masses of the earth is known as the continents. Okay, students, the lithosphere has the highest point above the sea level, which is the Mount Everest, which is about to 8,848 meters. And similarly, the lithosphere also have the deepest point in the Pacific Ocean, which is the Mariana Trench, which is more deepest than the Mount Everest है. Mount Everest की हाइट क्या है, 8,848 मीटर्स. ठीक है, वहीं मेरियाना ट्रेंच जिसकी हाइट है 11,3400 meters. Okay, so ये पैसिफिक ओशन में. So student, let us learn about the continents. So students, continents, आप यहाँ पर continents का वर्ल्ड मैप देख सकते हैं. So Asia, it is the world's largest continent, which covers about 29%, 1/3 part of the land masses. Africa, which is the second largest continent all over the world. North America, it is the third largest continent all over the world. South America, Europe, Australia, and Antarctica. Students, Australia, it has its specialty. The specialty is that Australia is an आइलैंड कंट्री. ठीक है, ये एक आइलैंड कंट्री है, बट ये इतनी बड़ी है और just because it is far away from other continents, so it is considered as a continent. Okay, and Antarctica also is known as the water continent just because the Antarctic Ocean which comprise in the Antarctica continent, ठीक है, and which also throughout the year frozen, ठीक है. अंटार्कटिका ओशन, अंटार्कटिक ओशन जो है, जो अंटार्कटिका कंटिनेंट में, वो यूजुअली frozen रहता है throughout the year. Okay, so students, here you can see the major continents over the world. This is the Australia, this is the Africa, this is the North America, uh, this is the North America, and this is the South America. Here this is the Asia, and this is the Europe. Okay, so these are the various major continents all over the world, and this is the Antarctica. Okay, so these are the various continents which spread all over the world, and which comprise of the 29% of the earth surface. Students, in your surrounding you see various type of landforms, such as the mountains, plateaus, and deserts. So students, these landforms has their own specialties, and they are form of various various pressures of the earth. So students, जो mountains होते हैं, these are two types: fold mountains and the block mountains. Okay, and mountains are formed up of when the when the Gondwana land has been splitted. जो हमारे अर्थ में टेक्टोनिक प्लेट्स होती हैं, उनमें मूवमेंट्स होता है, तो उनके कारण जो जो कंटिनेंट्स होते हैं, दे हैव बिन स्प्लिटेड, ठीक है, वो स्प्लिट हुए और एक जगह से दूसरी जगह साइड में जाकर एक दूसरे कंटिनेंट से एडजस्ट हुए, जिससे स्प्लिट्स फॉर्म हुई, जिससे कि फोल्ड माउंटेन्स बने, ठीक है. तो माउंटेन्स क्या होते हैं, टू टाइप्स के होते हैं: फोल्ड माउंटेन्स एंड माउंटेन्स हैव द कोनिकल शेप, while the plateaus have the flat surface, and the plains also have the level land and undulating plains, ठीक है. और इन तीनों के अलग अलग यूजेस भी होते हैं, ठीक है. अब माउंटेन्स होते हैं, उनका क्या यूज होता है? Mountains are useful sometimes for building house. Somewhere the mountains have the little level lands which is suitable for growing crops and building house. And notes, mountains are also suitable for the glaciers, just because we have the पेरीलिनियल रिवर्स विच प्रोवाइड अस द वाटर थ्रू आउट द ईयर, जैसे कि गंगा है, यमुना है, जो कि ग्लेशियर से निकलती हैं. कहाँ पर होती हैं? माउंटेन्स पर होती हैं. सो दे हैव द पेरीलिनियल रिवर्स, and the extreme flow of the water is used for generating hydroelectricity. And the mountains are also suitable for the forest, and they also gives us the scenic beauty and skiing, mountaineering, and वाटर राफ्टिंग. ओके, तो प्लेट्यूज जो होते हैं, प्लेट्यूज क्या होते हैं? स्पेशली ये हमको प्रोवाइड कराते हैं मिनरल्स. ओके, एंड प्लेट्यूज की स्पेशलिटी ये होती है कि इनका जो टॉप होता है वो फ्लैट रूफ की तरह होता है. दीज में भी हायर देन द माउंटेन्स, माउंटेन से भी ऊंचे हो सकते हैं, लेकिन इनका जो टॉप होता है वो फ्लैट होता है, जबकि माउंटेन्स का कोनिकल शेप में होता है, ठीक है. और प्लेन्स होते हैं, प्लेन्स आर सुइटेबल स्पेशली फॉर द सेटलमेंट, ठीक है. आपने देखा होगा, देयर इज अ हाईएस्ट कंसंट्रेशन ऑफ पॉपुलेशन कैन बी सीन इन द प्लेन्स. ओके, नाउ स्टूडेंट्स, let us see what we have studied under the hydrosphere. Student, hydrosphere, which is consists of the various water bodies uh, on the earth as well as below the earth surface, ठीक है. जो ओशंस होते हैं, सीज होते हैं, रिवर्स होती हैं, लेक्स होती हैं, आइस सीट्स होती हैं, and as well as the underground water and the water vapors. These all comprise under the hydrosphere, ठीक है. So students, there are various parts. There is various major hydrosphere parts consist in the four major continents, which are the Pacific, Atlantic, Indian, and the Arctic Ocean. Okay, so students, the Pacific, this is the largest ocean of the world. It covers almost 1/3 part of the total globe, ठीक है. And the little half of the total area comes under the oceans and the seas covered by this. Okay, and the Pacific Ocean especially, it has the Mariana Trench, which is the deepest most point below the earth surface. ठीक है. And second largest ocean of the world is the Atlantic Ocean. Third most is the Indian Ocean. Fourth most is the Arctic Ocean. And the last most, which is the southern continent of the world. So students, southern continent जो है, सदर्न ओशन जो है, वो जो हमारा सदर्न हेमिस्फेयर है, जो हमारा साउथ पोल है, जो अंटार्कटिक कंटिनेंट है, ठीक है, अंटार्कटिका कंटिनेंट है, वहाँ पर कंप्राइज करता है. एंड दिस इज फ्रोजन थ्रू आउट द ईयर. ठीक है. यहाँ पर कुछ साइंटिस्ट रिसर्च करते हैं, बट उसके अलावा वहाँ पर सेटलमेंट्स नहीं है. ठीक है. Now students, let us move towards the atmosphere. Students, atmosphere, as I said, it is a blanket which surrounds the earth, and it has the various layers of the earth, layers of the air which surround the earth. So students, there are various layers of the earth, which are the troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere, and the exosphere. These are the various layers of the atmosphere. And most of the weather conditions, they happens in the फर्स्ट और इनर मोस्ट लेयर ऑफ द एटमॉस्फेयर, विच इज़ द ट्रोपोस्फेयर. जैसे कि आपने देखा होगा, माउंटेन्स होते हैं, रेनफॉल होती है, स्नोफॉल होता है, फॉग होता है. तो ये सारी जो वेदर कंडीशंस होती हैं, ये ट्रोपोस्फेयर में होती हैं. ठीक है. एंड जो स्ट्रेटोस्फेयर है, जो एयरलाइन इज देयर, जो आप आसमान में एयरलाइंस देखते हो, ठीक है, वो सब स्ट्रेटोस्फेयर में होती हैं. मेसोस्फेयर में क्या होता है? मेसोस्फेयर कंप्राइज द ओजोन लेयर. ठीक है. उसके बाद होता है मेटियोराइट्स, जहाँ पर पाए जाते हैं, वो थर्मोस्फेयर में होती है. और एग्जोस्फेयर, जहाँ पर सैटेलाइट्स लॉन्च किए जाते हैं. ओके. एंड it is also suitable to give us the radio waves and the other telecommunication waves too. Okay. So students, this is about the atmosphere. Students, there is an important thing under the atmosphere, which is the composition of the atmosphere. So students, you know very well that the atmosphere is a mixture of various gases and dust particles, and it is mainly composed of 78% nitrogen. ठीक है. एंड 21% ऑफ ऑक्सीजन, O2 जो जिसको हम कहते हैं, and remaining the 1% is the other gases. Okay, they are present in the atmosphere. Students, these various gases are helpful in the various situations. जैसे कि नाइट्रोजन है, नाइट्रोजन is helpful to maintain the fertility of the soil. Oxygen is useful for breathing for living beings. All the living beings breathe oxygen. Okay. And the carbon dioxide, it is helpful for the plants to make their food with the help of sunlight and water. Okay. So students, these are the various gases which consist in the atmosphere. Okay. Students, there is one thing more which is very important. This is the biosphere. So students, biosphere is a very narrow zone where all the spheres comprise. जैसे कि हमने 3 spheres पढ़े, कौन से? लिथोस्फेयर, हाइड्रोस्फेयर और एटमॉस्फेयर. सो ऑल दीज 3 spheres comprise the biosphere, जो कि अर्थ को एक लिविंग कंटिनेंट बनाता है, जहाँ पर लाइफ एग्जिस्ट करती है. ओके. कैन यू इमेजिन इफ देयर विल बी नो वाटर, एयर और द लैंड? ठीक है. क्या इमेजिन कर सकते हो लाइफ होगी वहाँ पर? सो स्टूडेंट्स, ऑल दीज 3 spheres comprise in the biosphere, which makes the earth as a living planet. Okay. So students, I hope all the topics you all have recalled through this summary video, and I hope you all have understood very well. Students, if you got any problem, if you have any doubt regarding anything of related to this explanation or this chapter, you may ask your queries. Okay. So students, watch this video fully and do the given work, and we'll meet in further class with the another chapter.